Joyce. This is Ms. Carson. I wanted to go over a few of the problems that you were struggling with on the Chapter 5 test. So I'm going to share the screen and we're going to look at some of your problems, okay? So question 2, you missed all of these, and I wanted to walk you through how to do them, okay? So it says $2,600 is invested in an account for 10 years. So we're looking at 10 years, $2,600. We want to find the value of the investment at the end of 10 years, okay? And the first part says 3.2 compounded annually. So this tells you you're going to use the compound formula, which is this A equals P naught 1 plus R over N raised to the NT. And what I'm assuming is you're plugging this into the calculator wrong. So I want to make sure to show you how to plug this in. So your P naught here is the amount that you're investing. So this is going to be your 2,600. So P naught is 2,600. We're investing it for 10 years. So 10 is going to be known as your T, your time. R is always your rate, and we're looking at 3.2%. So if you look at 3.2%, we're not going to input that as a percent. We always have to change it to a decimal. And to do that, we move it 2 places to the left. So this will be 0.032 as a decimal. And then the last one is N, and this is how often it's compounded. Okay. And so it tells you it's compounded annually. So you think about an annual appointment, that means one time a year. So when we plug this in, it's going to be 2,600, 1 plus your R, which is 0.032 divided by 1 raised to the 1 to the 10th power. Now, when you input this in the calculator, think about your order of operations. You're always going to enter in your parentheses first, then you're going to raise it to this power, and then the last thing you'll do is multiply, okay? So let's look at, I pulled up this Desmos calculator. Let's get that. All right, so I'm going to type in here. I'm going to do the 1 plus 0.032. Now, if there was a number underneath that here, you could do that 0.032. So let's go back. You could do that 0.032 divided by 1, enter. Then add the 1 to it, enter. So 1 plus 0.032. It's 1.032. Then we're going to raise it to that power, which is 1 times 10, which is 10. So we're going to do 1.032 raised. So that's going to be this caret top button. It's the little caret top button on your keypad to the 10th power. Okay, and that gives you that 1.327. And then the last thing you're going to do is multiply it by this 26. And so you get 352. So it's going to be equal to 3562 points. And let's see what they wanted as our answer, rounding wise. They wanted it says round answers to the nearest cent. So if you go back and look, 3562.6, this 2, you look at the 6 next to it, so that means it's 0.63. Okay, so that's where that answer comes from. Okay, now the difference here is this one said semi-annually, so it may help you to know, okay, annually, compounded annually means 1 time a year. Semi-annually, think about that, would be twice a year. Quarterly, if you meet quarterly, that's 4 times a year. Monthly will be 12 times. And then compounded daily, daily would be, I think they use 360 days. But yeah, 365 days in here. Yeah. Maybe we'll put 365. All right. All right, so let's look at question 3. How much would you need to deposit in an account in order to have 3,000 in the account in 15 years? Assume the account earns 7% interest compounded quarterly. So this time we want to figure out the P and we know the ending amount. You want to have 3,000 in the account. So that's going to be your A. We want to find what we're going to input here. We don't know that. We know R is 0.07 and N is going to be compounded quarterly. So we know that's 4. So let's figure out how are we going to do this. We're going to set this up 3,000 P naught 1 plus 0.07 over 4 raised to the 4 times 15. Okay, so this is how we're going to set this up. You're going to have to do this part first, okay, figure out this number, and then go from there, okay? So if I'm going to input this in the calculator, let me write that down so I have it. So 3,000 equals P naught 1 plus 0.07 over 4, 4 times 15. So again, it matters how you put this in the calculator. You're going to do this part first, then the caret top button raised to this part, and then we'll go from there. All right, so let's clear. All right, so we're going to input 0.07 divided by 4 first, okay? And then we're going to add, nope, enter, and then add, I wish they would keep it, 0 plus 0.175 plus 1. Okay, that's inside the parentheses. So we get 1 plus 0.0175. So now we're going to raise that number. So I'm going to do the caret top button, which raises it. It's like above the 6. And then I'm going to put parentheses around this. 4 times 15. See how I do that? Keep the parentheses around it. And you get this 2.8318. Okay, so I'm going to remember that number. 2.8318162. Okay, so now we're going to go back here. All right, so this whole thing now was this 2.83162, okay, times the P naught is equal to this. So now you got to think, how do I solve for this P naught? Well, we want to get rid of this number over here. So this is being multiplied, so we divide. So I divide both sides by this, and we'll plug that in the calculator. So we're going to do 3,000 divided by this 2.8318162. 2.8318162. And we get that number, 105. And remember, we want to raise it, we want to round it to the nearest cent, so that would be 39. Let's see if we get that. So so 1059.39. Okay. So a lot of these you miss, I think, just based off like how you're putting in the calculator, I hope. Yeah. All right. If you have any other questions, shoot me an email. I'd be happy to answer any other questions. Okay. Thanks.